Well, it looks like the hopes of one of the most desired PlayStation 5 exclusives to be a launch title, those hopes have been dashed as Horizon Forbidden West has been confirmed to be launching in 2021, at least that's what Guerrilla is aiming for. Publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment and developer Guerrilla Games have released a new developer diary for newly announced PlayStation 5 sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, and we get quite a bit of an idea about the game's world and the release window as well, which they revealed at the end. And a lot of interesting information. I'll talk a little bit about the information that was revealed and also what this could mean for the PlayStation 5's launch. Exactly in the developer diary, they note for Horizon Forbidden West is an open-world action RPG that takes place in the distant future, and you play as Aloy, of course the main character from the first game, a hunter of the Nora tribe who is on an epic quest to solve mysteries and secrets that will change her life forever. The title Forbidden West actually refers to a mysterious new frontier that stretches from Utah in the USA all the way to the Pacific Ocean in the West. Ever since the first game, we really wanted to make a world that is so beautiful that you just want to be there, and with the additional power of the PlayStation 5, we can make that world even more detailed and more vibrant and more immersive. With PlayStation 5's SSD, there will be virtually no loading screens. Interesting that he says virtually, so there might be some loading here and there. So in an open world game like Horizon Forbidden West, if you open up the map and fast travel from one end to the other or restart from a checkpoint, it will be super fast. Now that I am super excited for. The days of fast traveling, loading times being eliminated, hell yeah, I am on board with that 100%. And when you boot up the game, you're right there in the action. As Aloy travels into the Forbidden West, she discovers stunning valleys, deserts, and ruined cities full of iconic landmarks. For the sequel, we wanted to go wilder and deeper, so the map is a bit bigger, but we also wanted to let players discover what lies hidden beneath the surface of lakes and rivers. I'm so happy about that. I am not for bigger open worlds if it means that the open world doesn't have meaning. I am about more dense open worlds. That's what Cyberpunk 2077 is doing. Have content in your world. Don't just make a world that is just a little empty, even if it's very, very big. If it doesn't breathe life, if it has this air of emptiness, it really doesn't go over well with me as an open world. I feel like some of the newer Assassin's Creed games have that issue. And I don't know, maybe I just try to turn every video into bashing Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Origins. I don't hate those games, but it's just one of the issues in those titles. Again, the landscapes may be stunning, but danger lurks in every corner in the Forbidden West. It is home to a large variety of machines, shell snappers that guard the shores and swamps, snap maws that hunt the waterways, and sun wings that patrol the skies. Players will discover dozens of new machines as they explore the Forbidden West, and each of these machines has to be scanned and studied in order to fight them effectively. The Forbidden West is also home to new tribes, and some of them are peaceful while others are hostile, and one of these hostile tribes has discovered the knowledge of how to override machines and use them as beasts of war in combat. One of the bigger machines is the mammoth-like Tremor Tusk. It's loaded with weapons and heavy-plated armor, and it's already dangerous when you encounter it in the wilds, but when it's specially outfitted by the tribes, it's even more dangerous. The Forbidden West harbors an even greater challenge that is collapsing biosphere. A red blight infects the land, hulking wildlife and starving animals and tribes, and the weather has spiraled out of control, generating massive supercell storms that flood canyons and fields. Aloy will have to go to great lengths in order to save this world. As the game is built and designed on mystery, we don't want to spoil all the surprises today. We have been working very hard in order to create a worthy sequel, one that will hopefully appeal to all fans, but hopefully also newcomers to the franchise, and we're aiming to release the game next year in 2021. So there you have it. That's literally everything from the developer diary, and I think the ending piece was the most interesting. 2021, in fact, when this game is going to be released, and the fact that they say aiming to release it in 2021, I'm thinking it's not going to be early in the year. Man, the PlayStation exclusives are so good, and I get that this is a reality in video games that we're just going to have to accept in game development if we want these, you know, very ambitious projects, but the game development time going up exponentially year over year and generation after generation. I remember the good old days. 2 years between Uncharted and Uncharted 2, 2 years between Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, 2 years between The Last of Us and Uncharted 3. Man, those were the good days, and those games were still of immense quality. Obviously, from a scale standpoint, these games have really been brought up with the newer platforms, and the demand and the desires that consumers want out of these games is so much higher, and these are creative people at the end of the day. They want to push the envelope every time, and good on Sony for leaving it open to the developers to take as long as they need to actually get these games out the gate. Horizon is obviously a massive open world title, so I can understand why it's going to take time to develop, but now that begs the question, Man, that PlayStation 5 launch, I don't know about it anymore. Look, I don't think Ratchet & Clank is going to be a launch title just because I don't know if Sony wants to drop two Insomniac games right by each other. You absolutely could do that. Insomniac actually has two studios that are co-developing games or developing games themselves, so they can work on Spider-Man, and that Spider-Man team is probably working on Marvel Spider-Man 2, a legitimate sequel, and then Ratchet is being worked on another team. That's how I imagine things would be going down, but still, Ratchet seems still a little ways away, and I imagine that's going to be a 2021 game. I'm not going to lie, if the PS5 launch is just the Demon's Souls remake and Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is looking to be a game at the scale of, you know, Uncharted The Lost Legacy, I just don't really know how to feel about that. That is not a compelling launch lineup. I mean, Demon's Souls is going to get people to buy the console, and people are going to buy the console regardless, but two games, one of them being more of a standalone expansion rather than a full-featured game by the looks of it, that is a little bit disappointing to me. If that's how it turns out, who knows, Sony could announce more games. Maybe Gran Turismo 7 is a launch title. There's a lot of unanswered questions at this point, but Gran Turismo, knowing how those games get developed, I do not think that's going to be a launch game, and I don't think, you know, racing games always are going to have their audience, but I think the PS5 is missing that one extra game alongside the Demon's Souls remake to really round it out and make it a killer launch lineup, because right now I'm thinking about the Series X's launch. Are we going to get Halo on launch day? Probably. You might getting a couple of other titles on launch day as well, given how Microsoft has really been facilitating studios to, you know, go for the creation of these Xbox X titles, Series X titles, and Xbox One titles, but it's going to be something very interesting to monitor if Horizon doesn't meet launch, if Ratchet isn't launched. Spider-Man is a big game. Don't get me wrong. Spider-Man's a huge IP. You look at the YouTube views for that Spider-Man trailer, it is staggering, and the fact they have that at launch, while I am aware of the fact that it's a standalone game and that might disappoint me a little bit rather than it being a full-fledged follow-up and a Marvel Spider-Man 2, and it is a follow-up to an extent, but it's definitely not a full-fledged $60 game, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and who knows, a lot of that area is a little bit murky as far as is that's going to be, you know, $40 to $60, but Jason Schreier reported it's going to be on the scale of Lost Legacy, so Lost Legacy was like a $40 standalone release, and it was a relatively short Uncharted experience, so if I'm expecting something at that, that's still exciting, it's still something I'm absolutely going to buy day one, and I'm going to play the hell out of, but it's more of an accessory piece than the main piece that's selling me on the PlayStation 5. I'm not as big of a Souls fan as a lot of you guys, so I know Demon's Souls Remake, you're completely sold on it. Slam dunk, that is the game for you, and you're going to buy the PS5 at launch for that. But for me, Demon's Souls Remake, absolutely going to play that. Spider-Man, absolutely going to play that. I want either Horizon or Ratchet on launch, and if Horizon's not at launch, man, I don't know about Ratchet. I am really praying that Ratchet's at launch. Look, the console's going to have a great lineup regardless, and ultimately we're going to be able to play all of these games. Ratchet is just one that I would absolutely love to play at launch, though, and with Horizon launching in 2021, and that is kind of my saving grace now. Look, I'm still going to buy the console at launch. I'm still going to enjoy the hell out of it. I'm going to have a great time at launch, but need one more game if it is Demon's Souls, Spider-Man, and then one other title. And Demon's Souls, we still don't know. We don't know if that's a launch game. I'm just assuming that Bluepoint Games has been working on this game for quite a while, and it is going to end up meeting launch, because I can't imagine Horizon missing it, Demon's Souls missing it, and Ratchet missing it. That's just, like, why'd you even do that PlayStation 5 event if you just revealed a bunch of games that aren't going to make it on launch? That's a little bit of a bummer. Nevertheless, that's going to conclude this video. Definitely want to hear from you guys. What launch lineup do you want now out of the PS5? You know, Spider-Man. Demon's Souls, a little bit of a maybe. I really think they need to get that for launch, and then I do think they need to get one more game to really make the PS5's lineup something compelling on day one, and I think Ratchet could be that game, or if they have a mystery project in the works, I don't know. Maybe Housemarque's title. Housemarque could have their title for launch day as well. That's a game that's going a little bit under the radar, and not everybody's aware about it, but definitely an option as well. That's going to wrap up this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.